Hey, 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 welcome to today's live broadcast. Thanks for being here. So excited to be connecting with all of you. And yay for summer. I know that we're experiencing really high temperatures throughout the country, but fortunately, we're moving into summer. The masks have come off, and I think it's going to be a summer of love. So let's go over the traits of high value men. And basically, I want to just kind of go over the core of what makes men high value, and then my top traits that I find very attractive in my husband, Michael. And then I'm going to answer some questions. So if you want to go ahead and post them in the chat while we're live, then I can coach you after I'm done covering my top traits. And so let's jump right in. Now, make sure you stay to the end because I've got a little information about this really fun summer dress that I'm wearing, and also some of the makeup. But I've been on the hot pursuit for some fun summer comfortable flattering dresses, and these would be called my no-brainer summer dresses. And so I want to share with you the one I'm wearing. It's towards the end of the video. All right, let's jump right in. Now, I love high value men, and I know everybody that's watching this, ladies, I know you're all looking for high value men, and Michael, my husband, is the perfect example, and he's the epitome of a high value man, in my opinion. And let's go over, what I've done some research, and there's a whole bunch of stuff on the internet that you can find that are the classic high value men traits. And I'm going to go over those first, but really, I think it comes down to what you consider high value based on your experiences and what you need in your life that you maybe haven't had or that you always desired. For example, my first husband wasn't very dependable, and it caused a lot of anxiety and insecurity for me and my children. So I was looking for a very dependable man the second time around. And Michael is so dependable. It's one of my qualities that I just can't live without. And when you have a dependable man, you can go so far, because when you have somebody in your court that's cheering you on, that believes in you, that puts you first, and just really, really gives you the kind of support that you need, you can go so far. And I don't care if you're a stay-home mom, or if you're trying to scale your company and as an entrepreneur, or you're working for a Fortune 500 company. You need somebody who's consistently giving you that atta girl, because it helps you to really excel. When you have somebody that isn't dependable, what happens is the rug keeps getting pulled out from under you, which makes it very hard for you to make any progress. It's like it just makes things more arduous, harder than they have to be. So I would say for me, dependability is going to come in really high in terms of traits. And so going back to what I said in the beginning is your traits are going to be different depending on your life experiences and your desires. So let's temper it with the basics, and then we'll go into the nuances. And don't forget to post your questions in the comment box so I can give you some coaching. Now, the first ones, let's go over the core, what makes men high value. And emotional intelligence, of course, has been rated number one through all the research that I did. And emotional intelligence makes everyone successful in life and in relationships. So we all want to be emotionally intelligent, and that includes self-awareness, that you are you own your emotions, you everything that you do, you're holding yourself accountable for, and you're really self-aware when it comes to your emotions. And then your self-regulation, self-management. When you're emotionally intelligent, you're regulating how you're showing up, and also you're aware of how you're showing up socially, and you also manage your relationships well. And so that might take some time to get to that point in life, but when a man has come into that, he's really high value and somebody you're going to be very attracted to. Because when you're looking at that, you could say that man who's emotionally intelligent is very dependable. And so the next one is he has a purpose. He has a why. I love this. So what is a why? Your why is your deepest. I'm looking for the right word so I can really make this make sense. When you have a purpose and you know your why you're doing something. So for example, let's take me for example. My purpose is to support, help, teach women to overcome their lifelong painful experiences, they can become self-aware and be evolved, and then attract like-minded people into their lives. When you overcome your childhood hurts and any wounds you've experienced, life becomes so much more, I guess, easy, right? It becomes easier when you're not constantly getting triggered and being held back and sabotaging yourself by all those wounds. So my purpose is supporting women to live their best life and have the love that they desire and deserve. And now my why is the anchor that allows me to continue to do this day in, day out, through COVID, through ups and downs, because my why is the roots that that give the fuel to my purpose. And now my why is because I struggled and I overcame all my struggles, and I overcame these limiting beliefs, and I healed my wounds. I healed my broken heart. And I wanted to come back and help other women do the same, because I had so many challenges growing up and had so much abuse. When I was able to forgive, release, and heal, I became so much more empowered. And that's what I want to help women to become more empowered. And so that's a deep why. It's a big why. It's like my purpose for being here. And it gives me so much joy, so much fulfillment. So when we talk about man, and I'm using that as an example, when he knows his why and what he likes and his purpose, it only takes a certain amount of drive for him to really excel, really achieve the things that he wants to achieve in life, because he's really connected to what he wants and why he wants that. And so I think that he has a purpose is it's so attractive in men, because like Michael, he's a very successful businessman. He's a developer. He builds communities for homes. So like 200 to 300 to 400 home communities. So he creates these beautiful properties, and he's got all of these wonderful people that are looking for a home, and he just really enjoys the whole process, entitling land, building the development, and selling it. And so many people come and have their children and live there or retire there, and so he's really, really into that. And that's really attracted to me, because he's so successful, because he's found his purpose. And so you're looking for a man who really knows what he wants and why he wants it, because it makes him so captivating to us. Just like when I shared my purpose. Let's go on to the next one. He takes care of himself. That's so attractive, isn't it? And I know there's a lot of complaints from women right now that men, as they age, don't take care of themselves. And I find that really interesting, especially in this time, time in our history. There's more information about your health, about wellness, about exercise, about diet. And so we're just wondering, why aren't men taking care of themselves? So I'm going to encourage all you men that are watching to really stay committed to your physical self, your body. Take care of yourself, eat well, exercise, and have this mindset to take care of yourself, because when you take care of yourself, even for women, we go further. We feel better about ourselves. It's a fuel that moves us forward. And so we're really looking for men in terms of high value men that take care of themselves. The next one on my list is they have high self-esteem. And this is different than the confidence, although confidence comes from having high self-esteem. And I think men with high self-esteem, they say what they mean, and without being mean in the process. And so they're very clear, and they know what their losses are. They know what their weaknesses are, but they continue to work on improving those, and they don't allow those losses and weaknesses to take them out. So I've made mistakes, but the way I look at mistakes is they're just lessons. And so they don't knock my self-esteem, because I recognize that's how I learn, through the trial and error. And so self-esteem is a really big factor. We want a man that knows his own value and works through his challenges. I think this is really interesting. I decided to include this one, but he has a secure attachment style. And for those of you, I don't know if you've read the book Attached, it's really fantastic. And it's just given some new language to the self-mastery that I teach. And a secure attachment style is a man that's emotionally mature, and he's comfortable with intimacy. He's not afraid of being open, of loving, and they're not afraid of commitment. And I guess on the other side of that coin, they're not afraid of abandonment. They recognize that things sometimes do end, but they'll continue to have relationships because they can work through that abandonment because they have a secure attachment style. And if you haven't read the book, I recommend you grab it, Attached, and see what your attachment style is. I think it's really clears things up and the kind of men that you're attracting or dating. And by the way, if you are attracting consistently men that don't have secure attachment styles, this is something that I really help women work through in my Inner Circle membership program. So make sure at the end of this video, check out the link in the box below about joining my Inner Circle membership so that I can help you not only identify what your attachment style is, but work through it as you, in the dating process, start to attract men that are going to have more of a secure attachment style by you becoming more secure in your own attachment style. All right, the next one, the next trait for high value men is he's honest with his own value system. So what does that mean? Their value system would be that they don't get into a relationship to sleep around. They don't promise outcomes that they can't deliver. And if they do make promises, they do their best to follow through with that. And if they get into the relationship, they're monogamous and they're loyal in that relationship. So that's a man with an honest value system. He's definitely in it for the long haul, and he's going to be committed to you. And I think that's really important. The next trait is that he has a growth mindset. How can you be with a man who's not open to personal growth, right? People that have a growth mindset, they believe that they can learn and grow at any stage of their life. When I talk to people and they have this I know it all, I already know it all mindset. When you think you know it all, then you can't let any new information in. And that is one of the most it's hard to work with people that think they know it all, because it's really a defense mechanism to keep them from allowing new information in. So you want a man that's open to personal growth so he can grow with you. And the last trait I'm going to share with you is he takes personal responsibility. Can't overemphasize that, right? A man that it takes personal responsibility is somebody who's at the helm of their life. They're not in victim mentality. When you're in victim mentality, you think everybody's doing things to you. But when you're in a ultimate responsibility, you know that you're at cause for everything that's happened in your life. And that's sometimes hard to digest. But in a bigger picture, we are all at cause, especially as adults, for everything that's happened to our life. And sometimes we can feel that we're being victimized, but then we have options to leave. We can make choices to leave and vote with our feet. A lot of times women stay in relationships and then they blame their partner for the problems they're having. And so we want to look for a man that's willing to take responsibility for his choices. And that's going to make him feel like he has control over his own life and he doesn't go into as much blame. Now, some of my favorite high value are, he's a gentleman. He knows how to treat a lady. He knows how to court a woman. Loyalty is really big on my high value traits list. Dependability, I started with that if you came in late for the video. And what else am I going to say? Successful. He's got a drive. He's ambitious, takes care of himself. All the things that I think that we want in men. And of course, we always want to cultivate those in ourselves. So those are my top traits in high value men. Hope that was helpful. Now I'd love to jump over and give you a little coaching. So I'm going to start to read and welcome those of you who joined me live. Thank you for being here. And let me check out the questions. Yay. Let's see. Hello from the Netherlands. Welcome. Great. Thank you, PM. Start decluttering and found it. Okay. There are only so little high value men and so many more women who want them. Well, that's a belief, right? That you can drop right now. So your mind made up a belief that there's only so many high value men. And so because that's what you believe, that's the experience you're having. Your experiences come from your beliefs. So if you believe that there's not enough high value men, you're right. There won't be, because you won't see them. Now, what I would like to suggest is to remember, and maybe this is a reminder for those of you who might have forgotten, but sometimes men come in and do things, and as women, if we hold them accountable and we have healthy boundaries, our men can remain or become more high value. When I have experienced something that I don't like, or I have a question on something, I speak up. With my feather, of course, I speak up and I ask questions and I get curious, or I set an appointment and I talk. And that causes Michael to, now Michael is very high value, but nobody's perfect, right? So I will ask him to step up, and he will, because he's got that growth mindset, because he takes responsibility, and it keeps him high value. We make men better people, just like men make us better women. So don't be afraid to hold a man accountable on a date, but use your feather. Like, gosh, it could sound something like, um, you know, I'm disappointed. I'm really grateful for the date, but I'm disappointed that you were running 30 minutes late. Being on time is a pet peeve that I have. Is there any way that we could work at showing up earlier so that we get that good table? So something like that. Say he shows up late and you're thinking he's a flake, but maybe if you just held him a little more accountable, he might come around and step up and show you that he's capable of doing that. So it's up to us to hold men to these traits, because men can get lazy. We can get lazy. But if you are living in your truth and you're living all of the traits that make you high value, then you have a better chance to consistently inspire your man to treat you well, treat you with respect, etc. Okay, we've got I'm just reading bear with me here, because it takes me a minute to assimilate a post to make sure that it's appropriate for me to read back and answer a question. Okay. Okay, well, I'm not going to bother with these because I'm not really resonating with the comments. Okay, so what I'm going to do is move into, I don't see any more questions that are relevant for this broadcast. And so I'm going to jump into talking to you about your summer wardrobe. Super important, right? Now, summer's here and I want you to be prepared. You've got to get your dating wardrobe together, because things are flying open. I just went to Aspen for 5 days, had no problems traveling. We had to wear masks in the airport, on the plane, no problem. Got to Aspen. Beautiful. It was my daughter's birthday, so I went up there and visited with her. And everybody's out, and there's a lot of enthusiasm and positive energy, and that's at least what I see, because that's what I'm looking for. And I ignore the other stuff. But it's so important that you're ready with your summer wardrobe. And so, as much as I love my more dressy, no-brainer dresses that I've shared on previous broadcasts, I think it's really important to also have a little handful of casual, no-brainer summer dresses. And this is a tie-dye. Now, when I was out shopping in Aspen, tie-dye is like coming back with a vengeance. It is everywhere. There's so many options. So I went ahead and bought a tie-dye dress, and this is the midi length. It's a little bit of it like a tube dress, and it's got a little slit, but it's perfectly appropriate for 57. It looks great. I'm not going to stand up and show you, but I am going to post a link where you can go and look at the dress. And this is it's made by AQUA. And I got it actually in a green, and this is kind of a purple lavender color. And then the other thing I wanted to share with you is my lipstick, wearing this pink MAC color. And I'm going to drop the link in. I can't even read this. It's too small, but it's a really pretty pink. I love pink anyway, but that's really nice. So those are my two shares. I am wearing some Moxie eyelashes, and they're the kind that are the magnet. So you put the eyeliner on, and it becomes a magnet, and then you put the eyelashes on. I have to say, really a pain in the butt. I don't like them, probably won't be using them anymore. The magnetic eyeliner gets on your eyelashes, and it gets in your eye, and it gets on your fingers, and it took me like 40 minutes to clean everything up. And I'm like, this isn't worth it, but they are pretty. If you have the patience and you don't mind that, you can use these. They're called Moxie, but I found them again a pain in the butt to apply and put on. Thank you so much. Should I go back to blonde? Not sure, Mary. Were you a brunette? Well, my hair is, I keep darkening my hair, but it keeps lightening up because it had a lot of highlights underneath it. So I really am trying to get back to my brown, but again, it keeps fading. So it's a process. And I'm not sure if you should go back to blonde. You can't get vaccinated due to health issues. My doctor said to, how do you suggest bringing that up? I'm not anti-vaccine, it's due to health issues. Well, first of all, I don't suggest, great question. Thank you for your questions. And I have a few more minutes if you want to post any questions. I I I don't think you need to bring up anything about being vaccinated or not being vaccinated unless you want to. And if he brings it up, then you can answer those questions. And I think just what you said there is perfect. I um, I'm not anti-vaccine, but due to health issues, I chose not to get the vaccine. What about you? That's it. That's what you say. And you say it with confidence and certainty. Now, I don't have a problem either way. I did choose to get vaccinated. I want to travel. I have already been on many trips, have had no problems. I don't have any underlying health issues. And I did notice that there were people wearing masks. So I assume that they chose not to get vaccinated. They couldn't. And so I think it's a case by case basis. You share the information. It's a boundary. You see how it's received, and then you decide whether or not to share anymore. If it's not received well, you don't share more. If it is received well, then that's an indication that you're still on the same page and you continue to share. So if a man asks you if you've been vaccinated or not, you share and then see how it's received. And that will tell you if you want to have a date or more interaction with him. If he hears you and you both haven't been vaccinated and there's a concern, start with a video date. Video dates are awesome. Start with a video date. Make sure you look great, and then move to a outdoor social distancing date, and then talk about your inner circles and what you're doing, and then build trust. And that's how you can get more secure about meeting in person and actually holding hands or kissing, stuff like that. So I'm just going to read this comment. I love it. I had my eyebrows done and I think it makes you look better. I'm getting eyeliner next, painted toenails, and summer is important and sexy. Yay! Yes, of course, eyebrows are important. I think they are. I actually had mine, can't remember what it's called, but enhanced. And I do have tattoo eyeliner because I lived in Hawaii for a long time. And when you surf and you get out of the water and you don't have any makeup on, it's like, so I chose to do that. That's very popular in Hawaii. And so, yeah, I think that's great. Get ready for summer. I mean, summer's already here. And I just want all of you to take advantage of the great weather, take advantage of getting out there. Have a lot of fun this summer. Fill your cup, because in the fall, we're going to get back to working, doing our deep inner work. I'm going to launch my Queens Club program where we're going to, it's my signature program where I'm going to bring it back. And we're going to be working on our limiting beliefs and healing our core wounds so you can become empowered. Now, I'm going to close with a little story. When I went to Aspen, I stayed with my daughter. She's staying in her a family home. And I used to stay there because I was married to her father. And I haven't been there for over 15 years. But I actually stayed in the house with her. And I had no triggers, none. And why I want to share this with you, it's because I'm able to go back, stay in my ex-husband's home. Of course, he's not there. Spend time with my daughter and not have any triggers where I'm like asking questions about him or his relationship, or saying things like, well, yeah, like bitter, resentful comments that would make my daughter uncomfortable. I've cleared up my past. I've forgiven, moved on, really have moved on, and I'm emotionally available for my daughter. I'm so proud of myself, because when I started this whole process 10 years ago, I was so distant and unavailable. And to be able to go back and have a wonderful time and not get triggered at all. And I promise you, I'm telling you the truth, no triggers, and I'm mature enough to not bring up topics that would make my daughter feel uncomfortable. That's a real victory. That's a real freedom. And when you can experience life at that level, you get invited back. You get to go stay in a home that you used to spend time in when you were married, etc. Look at all the benefits. That is just a huge benefit that I wanted to share with you, that I got to experience. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful that I have done the work. And I'm going to come back in the fall and open my Queens Club and invite you to join me there. Now, if you're not on my mailing list, all you have to do is is go ahead and take the love forecast and see what your love forecast is this year. Or you've got the link in the box below, or you can sign up for my trial membership program that'll get you on my mailing list, and then you'll get notifications about when I'm going to launch the Queen's Club. But in closing, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the live broadcasts. I hope you've enjoyed this month with the high value topics. We did 5 videos, so make sure you binge on all those videos, because I am going to make them private and turn them into a course and be offering those as a little curriculum for all of you if you missed any of them. So make sure you take advantage of binging on all 5 of those videos this week, because next week they're going to go private and I'll be putting that course out. Okay, ladies, thank you so much for being here. I was just checking, I don't see any more questions. So I will see you next week for an all new topic in July. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and don't forget to get your summer wardrobe on. Get out there. Men are visual. Give them something pretty to look at, and make sure you use your smile. And I will see you next week in the next video. Sending you lots of love. Bye. Thanks for being here.